There is a major reveal in Solo, and we are going to talk about it right now. Big spoiler alerts coming up. If you have not seen Solo, this is the part you may want to mute or come back to, because this is a major reveal in the movie. I think it would ruin it for you if you knew before you watched it. Correct? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of ruined the movie for me anyway.
Whoa, okay. All right, let's get into it. Just gonna put it out there. Darth Maul is in the movie. Darth Maul is alive. We've taken what looks like pieces from the Clone Wars animated series and Rebels, the animated series. So they took something from the prequels, put them in the animated series, now they're in the new canon, so it's kind of swishing back and forth, but I guess you can consider everything in Star Wars canon. It just, we haven't really seen them introduced. Like, we've never seen like Hera show up, and we've never seen Ahsoka show up in the cinematic universe.
Right, it's interesting that this is tying this now into the animated series, and it feels like they're trying to set up Solo as like the beginning of, I don't know, like its own trilogy or something.
I don't think they should, though.
I was really hoping, and why I said it ruined it for me is I was just really hoping that Solo would be kind of a standalone movie that would tell its own story, but
I mean, we're gonna keep seeing Kira probably come back. I think they've definitely set it up for that to happen. I wish there were more emotional stakes when that part happened for Han, when he saw the ship moving. Like, he should have been like heartbroken or betrayed.
Yeah.
But that's another problem, I guess.
Well, but like having Darth Maul in that moment took away the emotional connection between Han and Kira. And it just, I don't know. He showed up on screen and I was just like, what? Really?
Yeah. And they never say it's Darth Maul, though, but it looks like Darth Maul. He has robot legs, which he does get.
First he takes off his hood and you're like, oh my God, it's Darth Maul. And then he stands up and you're like, oh, he's got robot legs because he was cut in half that one time. And then he pulls out his lightsaber and you're like, yeah, I get it, it's Darth Maul, okay.
He's also played by Ray Park and Sam Witwer, who have played him in the past. Sam Witwer was the voice in the animated series. Ray Park has always been the body double. I mean, it's always been regarded as a mistake killing him so early in The Phantom Menace. He should have been the prequel, you know, ominous villain that's just around. But
totally,
he wasn't. And I don't know if this is a great way to rectify it. I mean, it does, if they were to turn this into more of a spin-off trilogy, I mean, he's a good villain.
I mean, they definitely set it up at the end with saying, oh, there's this job on Tatooine. But I don't know, like I'm actually a fan of Darth Maul in general. I really enjoyed the Darth Maul comic books where he did have the robot legs and all of that.
He had like spider legs.
Yeah.
And then he had bipedal legs given to him by his brother, who has a great Star Wars name, Savage Opress. Sorry, I just had to say Savage Opress. But he does have, I mean, would you like to see the stories from the comic books made cinematic?
I don't know if they would stand on their own as movies, but they're really cool comic books. I don't know, it was interesting that it wasn't the only episode 1 reference. I caught 2 others in Solo.
Wait, I didn't see them.
One was when Lando meets Woody Harrelson's character. He says, oh, you're the guy who killed Aura Singh, who's a bounty hunter who shows up for like 2 seconds in episode 1.
That's why I don't remember that name.
And then Paul Bettany's character, Dryden?
Yeah.
He offers an appetizer of Kolo clawfish, which is one of the, there's always a bigger fish in the Sea of Naboo in episode 1. And it's like, stop making references to episode 1. I want to forget everything I can about episode 1. Stop reminding me about it.
But what about the worst fighting video game in LucasArts history? That's what Kira does. That's just another, maybe trying to redeem themselves with these old references. I mean, I could definitely see the Darth Maul thing being redemption. We're gonna do it right this time, but should we do it the way we're gonna do it?
I think part of my issue with making those references is that the thing that I love about the original trilogy is that they make references to things that you have no idea about. And I think in these Star Wars story movies, they're just trying so hard to fill in all of those gaps where it's like, we have to show you what the Kessel Run is. Whereas, you know, before in the original trilogy, when Luke says things like, oh, it'll be just like bullseyeing womp rats in Beggar's Canyon in my T-16 Skyhopper,
Do you not want to see the T-16 Skyhopper movie?
You don't need to know that.
Because I don't either.
I don't know. It's that effortless world building where they mention things offhand. And yeah, you can read about it in the novels and things like that if you really want to know, but it shouldn't be everything explained in the movies.
Coming up next, the Tosche Station movie. Maybe not. Maybe Andrew has a point. Audience, what did you think of that big reveal at the end of Solo? Do you think it was just right? Is it going to be awesome? Or maybe not the right way to go? Please let us know your thoughts on Facebook and Twitter.